The little girl's voice was so soft, yet it cut through the silence like something the world had forgotten how to say. Don't cry, miss, you can borrow my dad. The CEO sitting alone on that cold park bench frowsy. Rebecca Hayes had built an empire where numbers never lied, contracts never broke, and emotions were carefully locked away. But right now, a single tear slipped down her cheek, betraying everything she thought she controlled. She quickly wiped it away, glancing around as if the world might judge her for being human. But instead of judgment, she found a pair of wide, innocent eyes staring at her with concern. The girl Donna Collins stood there holding a slightly worn teddy bear, her small hand gently pointing toward a man watching from a distance. He's really nice, Donna added with a hopeful smile, as if she was offering the most valuable thing she had. Rebecca let out a quiet, broken laugh. Borrow a dad. The idea was absurd, and yet, something about the warmth in Donna's voice made it impossible to dismiss. Rebecca followed the girl's gaze and noticed him, Edward Collins, standing near the swings, his posture protective yet hesitant, as if unsure whether to step closer or give space. He looked nothing like the polished executives Rebecca dealt with daily. His shirt was simple, his hands rough from hard work, and yet there was a calm strength in his eyes that she couldn't quite understand. When their eyes met, Edward gave a small, apologetic smile, clearly embarrassed by his daughter's boldness. I'm sorry, he said as he approached, his voice steady but warm. She thinks she can fix everything. Donna tugged at his sleeve. Because you always fix things, Dad. That simple sentence hit Rebecca harder than any business deal ever had. Fix things? When was the last time anyone had fixed anything for her without expecting something in return? Rebecca tried to brush it off, standing up as if she could walk away from the moment, but her feet didn't move. Something inside her, something fragile and long ignorant, kept her rooted there. It's fine, she said, though her voice carried a softness she didn't recognize. Donna stepped closer and gently took Rebecca's hand. You look sad, she whispered, as if sharing a secret. When I'm sad, my dad buys me ice cream, or just sits with me. Edward chuckled lightly. She's not wrong. There was no pressure in his tone, no hidden agenda, just simple kindness. And that's what made Rebecca hesitate. She had spent years surrounded by people who wanted something from her: money, power, approval, but this man and his daughter offered something unfamiliar, something real. Minutes turned into an hour before Rebecca even realized she had left. She found herself sitting beside them, listening as Donna talked endlessly about school, her favorite cartoons, and how her dad made the best pancakes in the universe. Edward occasionally chimed in, his humor quiet but genuine, his presence grounding in a way Rebecca had never experienced. For the first time in years, she wasn't thinking about board meetings or billion-dollar decisions. She was just there, present, human. And when Donna insisted they all share ice cream from a nearby cart, Rebecca didn't refuse. She laughed, really laughed, for the first time in what felt like forever. Edward noticed. He didn't say anything, but his eyes softened, as if he understood that this moment meant more than she could ever admit. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in soft shades of gold and pink, Rebecca realized something terrifying. She didn't want this to end. I should go, she said quietly, though her heart resisted. Donna immediately frowned. But you're not sad anymore, she protested. Rebecca smiled gently. That's because of you. Then she looked at Edward, her expression shifting, vulnerability slipping through. Thank you, both of you. Edward nodded, but there was something unspoken in his gaze, something deeper than gratitude. You don't have to go back to being alone, he said carefully. Rebecca's breath caught. No one had ever said that to her before. No one had ever seen her loneliness so clearly. And for the first time, she didn't deny it. Instead, she whispered, what if I don't know how to stay? Edward took a small step closer, his voice steady but filled with quiet emotion. Then maybe, you don't have to figure it out alone. Rebecca didn't return to the park the next day or the day after. Not because she didn't want to, but because she was afraid. Afraid that what she felt that evening was too fragile, too real, and that stepping back into her world of glass towers and endless expectations would break it completely. Yet, despite her fears, she couldn't forget Donna's innocent offer or Edward's quiet strength. Days later, as she sat in her office, surrounded by silence that suddenly felt suffocating, she made a decision that shocked even herself. She left everything behind for a moment and went back to the park. Donna spotted her first. You came back? She shouted, running toward her with pure joy. Rebecca barely had time to react before the little girl wrapped her arms around her. That simple hug, so genuine, so full of warmth, melted the last of her hesitation. Edward followed, a soft smile on his face, but his eyes carried relief, as if he had been hoping she would return. I wasn't sure if we'd see you again, he admitted. Rebecca looked at him, her voice steady but filled with emotion. I wasn't sure either. There was a pause, heavy with everything they hadn't said. Then Donna broke it, grabbing both their hands. Now you're not alone anymore, she declared proudly. That moment changed everything. What started as an encounter became something deeper: shared walks, quiet conversations, and laughter that came easier with each passing day. Rebecca slowly let go of the wall she had built, discovering a life beyond boardrooms and contracts. Edward never pushed her, never tried to change her, simply stood beside her, offering support in the gentlest way possible. And Donna, she became the bridge that connected their worlds, reminding Rebecca what unconditional love truly looked like. Months later, standing in the same park where it all began, Rebecca looked at Edward with a softness she had never shown anyone before. You know, she said, her voice warm, I never gave your daughter back her dad. Edward smiled, stepping closer. I don't think she wants him back. Donna laughed, hugging them both. I said you could borrow him, not keep him forever. Rebecca knelt down, brushing a strand of hair from Donna's face. What if I asked to keep both of you? She whispered. Donna's eyes lit up. That's even better. And just like that, the woman who once had everything but felt nothing finally found what she didn't even know she was missing: the family built not on power or perfection, but on kindness, love, and a little girl's simple belief that even the loneliest hearts deserve to be held.